What's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday to everyone. Hopefully, everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy. If you had to take a COVID test, hopefully you have tested negative. If you did test positive, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long-term issues and no long COVID issues. It is time now for the Saturday edition of the Pandemic Update for Saturday, February 17th, 2024. If you're new to my channel, this is where we do the daily pandemic update on all things COVID and other viruses as well. Let's face it, all these viruses really are a threat to you, and you need to be informed that the pandemic didn't end, COVID did not go away, it didn't just disappear. People are still dying, people are still getting sick, people are still sick with long COVID and long-term illnesses. I think you need to be informed about that. By all means, subscribe down below if you feel the same way, and give this a thumbs up if you enjoy what you see here. Let's try for 100 likes today. Really helps in the algorithm to push these videos along. Alrighty, taking a look here. First thing we have to talk about today is health officials tracking rising number of people experiencing flu-like symptoms in Austin, Texas. That's right, officials said the percentage of patients with flu-like illness is approaching numbers Travis County saw at the height of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. So, yeah, this is serious. It's still rising down there. And we have seen wastewater for different metrics down in that portion of Texas continue to rise. So that's something we do not like to see. Then we move on to this. There's two parts to this. Tiger Woods. You know Tiger Woods. He's a major professional golfer. He's one of my favorite golfers. I have several favorite golfers, but he's one of them. Unfortunately, he had to withdraw from the Genesis Invitational yesterday due to flu-like symptoms. Just the day before, his back was acting up again. You may recall last year, he had to withdraw from the Masters because he was having issues with his back. This time, that's not the reason why he had to leave. He had to withdraw the tournament. It says here, let's read along here. When Tiger Woods was carted off the Riviera Country Club on Friday afternoon, the obvious question was whether his body had failed him again. He had suffered back spasms just a day earlier, and so it seemed likely that the many surgically repaired parts of his frame were undermining his latest comeback. However, it was quickly revealed that flu-like symptoms and not a bulky back were the reason for Woods' early end to his 2024 debut. Let's continue on here. We got to go to another story. This is better. It says Tiger Woods doing much better today after withdrawing from Genesis Invitational. Apparently, he has been put on an intravenous, and he is doing much better today than he was yesterday. But nonetheless, he had to leave. And it says here, he had a little bit of a fever and was better during the warm-up, but when he got out there and was walking and playing, he started feeling dizzy. So, yeah, nonetheless, he's not going to be playing the rest of the weekend. He already withdrew from the tournament. So, hopefully, Tiger Woods feels better soon. Best of luck to you, Tiger. I really love the golf that you play. All right, taking a look at this now. This is from Hawaii. The Department of Health confirms 5 cases of whooping cough. Yes, yet again, another place. We've talked about it from time to time. It's been a few weeks. Whooping cough is popping up again. The Hawaii Department of Health has confirmed 5 cases among members of a single household, including a child who was hospitalized. All 5 cases were unvaccinated. The family had traveled from the United States mainland and stayed at a hotel accommodation. So, yeah, this is something that they're going to continue to follow. So, interestingly enough, they were in the mainland, and they took their cases from the mainland back over to Hawaii. We'll have to see if it's contained to just that household. I think it will be, but hey, you never know. Mind you, they had to go on the airplanes. Were they masking? All right, taking a look now at the latest air quality data for the United States today. And what you'll see across the United States is things are not that bad. Look at this. There's a lot of green. And there's green in the east, but I do have to point out 2 areas. And you're probably seeing 2 spots right now that are really sticking out to you. Yeah, it's pretty bad along the west coast, especially in California. You know, it's fireplace season. They are seeing a storm this weekend. More of a reason to use the fireplace. And then Florida. Just some moderate, poor air quality. And that does extend up into the Georgia coast and South Carolina coast. something to be concerned about. Not as concerning as California, though. That's really bad. You want to learn more about the weather that's coming to the West Coast and what's going on in Florida? Florida's seeing weather too. By all means, check out my other channel, Climate Data Report. There'll be a link to that down below. Walgreens this week. In Walgreens, the national COVID positivity is 26%, down 0.8%. Testing was down slightly as well. Taking a look at hospital data in the United States, you can see that 77.2% of all beds are currently in use. 2.6% of that is because of COVID. 1.1% is for influenza. And when we break that down to the ICU usage, we can see here that 72.5% of all ICU beds are in use. 2.5% for COVID, 1.4% for influenza. We'll take a look at some more states individually again tomorrow, and I do believe this may be behind. Yeah, this data is behind, and I'm just updating here. Yeah, it hasn't updated yet, so maybe we won't take a look at it tomorrow. Taking a look now at wastewater, and we can see here across the nation the number of high-level sites. That's these red sites and these orange sites. That number continues to decrease. Reds, 80 to 100% COVID detected. That's 177 sites, but that's down by 13%. Orange, 60 to 79% COVID detected. 407, that's a lot. I mean, both of these still have a high number, but it's down by 8%. That's a good thing. We'll take a deeper look at wastewater tomorrow, and you can see here, here's another map. You can see there are still some states, like Texas, North Carolina, Kentucky. Then you come up here to South Dakota, still reporting very high levels of COVID. This is a good thing. Look at this. You're seeing lots of greens here. For the most part, for most states across the United States, deaths are starting to drop. Although, look at this in Arizona. It looks to me like Arizona, percent change from prior week, up 27.8%. Ooh, that's not, and an absolute difference up a 0.5%. Either way, Arizona, deaths did go up this week. Looks like California went up some. So there are still some states that are rising, but you're not seeing any of these oranges and brighter changes or darker shades of orange. That is a good thing. All right, moving on now to this. This is not a good thing. Yeah, something that I don't think we have seen happen before in February since the pandemic has started. Yeah, this is big time, my friends. Take a look at this. COVID-19 hospital admissions the past week, 21,373. Okay, we've seen that before. What have we not seen before in February? We have not seen them go up. Go back and take a look. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't ever recall hospital admissions in the U.S. rising in the middle of February. Yeah, it's up almost 1%, 0.8%. It rose this week. That's not good. Looking across the country, you can still see there's still a lot of places that have orange. Look at Puerto Rico. There's a lot of orange ongoing in Puerto Rico. That indicates moderate to substantial increases. Puerto Rico is seeing substantial increases right now in COVID hospitalizations. That, my friends, is not a good thing. And we're seeing it across portions of Texas as well. I mean, you do have other areas where there are moderate to stable decreases, but again, there's still some places that are seeing substantial increases. You can see some counties in Maine, a lot of counties, a lot of rural counties spread throughout the United States. Something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Hopefully, this national number will drop again next week, but I don't know. It's not moving much right now. JN.1 is responsible for this. Reinfections are happening really easy with this variant. And many people have had COVID several times. For some people, if you've had it several times, you're now getting sicker, and maybe you do get hospitalized, or maybe you're not up to date on your latest booster shot. Whatever the case is, hospital admissions have not been dropping now. They're rising again in February. Again, something that has not really happened since this pandemic has started. It's a really bad indication of what could happen the rest of this year. All right, moving on now. Something else that's not good. Epidemic status for COVID. You're seeing pinks. You're seeing purples. Yeah, growing or likely growing again. It's likely growing again in the great state of Maine, Indiana, Mississippi, Arkansas. You can see here Nebraska, Washington, Wyoming. Yep, rising again. Growing status now in Georgia, Delaware, portions of Missouri, and even in Kansas is reporting growing status. Oh, and it's likely growing in Alaska again. Stable, likely declining, or declining in other states, but let's come down to flu. Flu is likely growing again in portions of Florida, Kentucky, Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and it is in fact growing in Maine and the great state of Michigan. Yes, virus levels in many states are starting to rise again. Now, we do have declining levels of flu and likely decline or stable conditions in other places, but again, this is not a good thing at all to see so many states starting to rise again. Again, the middle of February. It can happen for flu. I've done some research. Some people have told me that, hey, it happens with flu, but with COVID? No. This is February now. I mean, I get it. Some states will do their own thing, but it's not just one state. You have multiple states. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think 12 different states here that are rising again. So something to be concerned about. And of course, we will follow that going into next week. Hopefully this will drop soon because wastewater on a national level has once again started to drop. But hey, we'll have to see. Taking a look more at influenza real quickly, you can see New Mexico went to a higher shade of very high once again. It's the second highest level on the map. That's not good. Then you have a lot of states and places that are still very high. New York City, Washington, D.C., South Carolina, Ohio, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and even in Wyoming as well. So, yes, that continues to be a problem. And other places have somewhat slowed down at this point. JN.1, we got an update on that yesterday. It's now at 96.4%. New Jersey today, 67 out of 70 hospitals reported, 650 hospitalizations, 30 people on a ventilator, 72 people in the ICU, and discharges, 106 discharges in the last 24 hours. That's a good thing, seeing discharges. Philadelphia EMS calls yesterday, 766 of them. It's below 800, but it is slightly higher. Slow day in the burbs today so far. That can change at any moment. Just a few calls in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. And how about Chester County, Pennsylvania? You can see Chester County, yep, there's a few calls. Cardiac arrest, ooh, that's not good. Respiratory difficulty and heart problems. New York State, 1,467 cases in the last 24 hours. Probably won't get an update again out of them until maybe Tuesday. It is a holiday weekend. Hospitalizations in New York State, 1,548. This number continues to drop. The number of people in the ICU, did that drop? It dropped by 1 to 176. Again, probably won't get an update till maybe Tuesday. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes they surprise. Taking a look at California now. Everything is dropping in California. COVID is dropping, and influenza is dropping as well. And you can see the positivity rate for COVID is 7.1%, 6.5% for flu at this time. And LA, look at this. The hospitalizations in LA are dropping. Deaths have risen slightly once again. Looks like they had just an average of over 5 deaths a day. I think that's what that means. Yeah, it's a 7-day average. Yeah, it's just over 5 3/4 a death a day in LA. So, yeah, people are still dying. But remember, LA is a big city. Alrighty, folks, that's all I have for you today. We'll have another update again tomorrow. We'll have the Sunday wastewater update. And any news that pops up, we'll add that as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this update. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. Share this with anyone who needs to see it. The more people we inform, the better. We need people to know about what's still going on. There's a big cover-up from the media, from the government. They're not telling you that people are still sick. There's millions of people with long COVID. There's millions of people that are sick right now. But yet you hear nothing about it on the news. And when someone makes a post saying, oh, I tested positive, out come all the comments. Oh, I had COVID and now I have heart problems. Now I'm having trouble remembering. I'm having trouble breathing. I mean, out it comes, but no one reports on it. So share this so people are informed about what is going on. I'll see you guys all again tomorrow. Until I see you again next time, stay safe, everyone. Have a fantastic Saturday afternoon, and thanks for watching.